Now, a closer look at the news and issues affecting you. The Midday News with Herb Weisbaum on Komo News 1000, FM 97.7.
Hope you're having a good Wednesday, and thank you so much for sharing part of it with us here on Komo. I'm now here from 1 to 3 with the Midday News. You know, we don't talk about HIV/AIDS in the news all that much anymore. That's because, thanks to medical breakthroughs, it's become a disease that can be managed, rather one that kills all of its victims. Fred Hutch is hosting an AIDS cure research discussion at 7 o'clock tonight, and one of the guests is Gary Steinkohl, who thought that for some time he had been cured. It is quite a story, and he wants to share it with you.
Good afternoon.
So let's talk about your personal story. You went into an experimental treatment and for a while thought they had cured your HIV.
Yeah. Back in 2012, after having gone through a medical roller coaster of a few years of chemo and stem cell transplants, my oncologist at Dana-Farber came to me with the idea that had been proposed to them to participate in an HIV cure research. And from that study, and it was a great decision choosing to go into it, but there were tremendous risks that it would shorten my life. It could bring on decimation from the HIV virus. But to me, participation in that study was so crucial to helping the advancement of cure research. And I was one of the very, very few people in this country and around the world that had had a stem cell transplantation and being HIV positive. So I chose to participate. As it progressed and a few months went on, and I had now passed any threshold of people who had taken viral holidays or drug holidays, the virus had returned in their bodies, and now I was well beyond that time frame, though granted I had a very different medical protocol. I started to believe, and the medical team supporting me did not dispute it. They very much were saying, this is a very cautious space you're in. But I was starting to believe within my own self and within the sphere of friends and very close family that I might be the next HIV-cured individual in the world. And that lasted for going on about three and a half months until October of 2013, which was now 8 months after I had stopped taking medication, that the virus did return.
So how did you respond emotionally when you found out you weren't cured?
It was devastating. I felt so sad, both for myself and for the team that I had become close to at Dana-Farber and Brigham and Women's, that I felt like I was letting them down. But for myself, I'm reliving it now. It's been a long, long time. That hopefulness was now truncated. It was gone and replaced with the reality that I'm now again HIV positive.
Despite your experience, do you encourage others to take part in these medical trials?
Absolutely. One of the great things that came from this was when my team, after months later, had said, do not underestimate how much you have contributed to the change in the directions of HIV cure research. Information that was garnered from my participation was crucial to them. They said, we found that the reservoir of HIV virus is far, far deeper than we had ever perceived it to be.
Looking at the news right now, Zika, while we want no one to get Zika, while we don't want any babies born with birth defects, you must look at this from someone with HIV going, we got this whole other thing going on here. How did we drop off the radar?
We dropped off the radar because, as is natural in our world, over time we become immune, and that's unfortunately a word I'm going to use, to the continuation of long-term struggles. That I'm hoping to bring this back to a national discussion, bring up this dialogue again. I hope it will happen. There are a multitude of challenges that we face. This is one, and to me, one very personal one.
So what's taking place at the Hutch tonight at 7 p.m., is that open to the general public?
It is. Go on to Facebook, go on to the web, and Google Fred Hutch. Cured, Not Cured is the title of the event, 7 o'clock tonight. Open to the public. Please come. I encourage you.
And who do you think would benefit by coming?
Activists who will absolutely be there, as well as everyone who knows anyone who is affected and living with HIV. Please come. It's going to be an interesting dynamic. I'm going to be telling my own story as a participant in a cure research where there were lots and lots of risks and lots of choices I had to make. And I believe all of us should participate and be active in helping advance this.
Gary Steinkohl, we wish you all the best of luck and want to thank you for coming to see us today.
Herb, thank you very much.
Once again, this community discussion, Cured, Not Cured, will take place tonight at 7 o'clock in Pelton Auditorium at Fred Hutch. Also there, a researcher who is working trying to find a vaccine or a cure for HIV/AIDS, and we're going to talk to him next.